بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
And I'll mention to you some contemporary examples about how sometimes you would do something very small and you never pay attention to it, but it will make a big difference. And there's a hadith, by the way, that says that a person might speak a word that would please Allah, and they don't pay attention to it, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will raise them up levels because of that. And a person might speak a word that will anger Allah, and because of that they will be thrown in hellfire. It's a matter of a word, here or there. There's a brother from Canada. He said that he started having interest in learning religion at a very early age, around the age of 9. He started studying religion. That's quite early. He said, but he was turned away from Islam because of a lesson that he was taught in school about Islam. He was shown some images that turned him away from Islam. And then he said he was going through some problems in his family. His father left and his mother was on drugs. So he said he completely forgot about this issue of religion, even though he had some early interest in it. He said, and then he became a drug user, and then he was promoted to being a drug dealer, and he went to jail at the age of 14. So he had a turbulent life. He said, I used to go to this park in Canada. It's in the center of the city, and that's where the drug addicts would usually congregate. And we would all smoke and use our drugs, and you'd find needles all over, and that's where we would all come together and get high. He said, so I went there, and I was sitting next to this guy who looked foreign, and I was smoking my dope, and I saw something interesting. He said the way that this guy next to me used to wrap his marijuana, or hashish, or whatever it was, I'm not very familiar with their specific terms. He said the way he used to wrap it was different. So that caught my eye. I asked him, I see that the way you wrap your hashish or hash is different. Where are you from? He said, I'm from Morocco. He said, so you must be a Muslim. He said, yes, I'm a Muslim. He said, can you tell me something about Islam? Now he's remembering his early years of studying about religion. He said, tell me about Islam. He said, so this Moroccan guy was going through the tenets of Islam, and we're all smoking and we're very high, and I mean, he's speaking and I'm just receiving all of that information and absorbing it. I mean, we're both high. He's speaking very well and I'm understanding very well. He said for 2 hours continuously we were talking about Islam. He said until we ran out of drugs. We had nothing left. He said, and then we continued the conversation for another 2 hours. 4 hours in total. And he said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent another person to sit next to us. SubhanAllah, it was qadr of Allah. An Algerian person who wasn't on drugs or anything. He was just there. He happened to be there. He said he sent us to us to correct whatever mistakes that person would make. You know, people have different understanding of Islam, so they would correct each other. And whenever one of them would mention something wrong, the other person would correct the false information. He said we continued the conversation for 4 hours. After that I became Muslim. He said, now neither did the Algerian or Moroccan person know that I became Muslim, because I left and then became Muslim on my own. And I stopped using drugs. And I actually met him and he was doing da'wah at the time. When he was telling us his story, there was a group of us. So one of the brothers who was sitting and hearing the story said a bad word about that Moroccan person because of using drugs. This Canadian Muslim brother, his face turned red and he became very upset and angry. And he said, don't speak about him, because I became Muslim through him. And every single thing that I do, my salah, my siyam, my zakat, my dhikr, every single thing that I do, a copy of it will be deposited in his account. Now, only Allah knows where that person is. He might still be in the park using drugs. He might be lost. And he never knows that in his account is salah and siyam and zakah. They're all deposited and he knows no idea about it. He'll come on the Day of Judgment and see all of this and not know where it came from. I was in those parks using drugs. Where did all of these good deeds come from? It all happened because of a few words that he said to a drug addict like himself. Now maybe he never knew that this person would become Muslim. Maybe he never intended it. He just was conversing, talking. But he threw something good out there, and these are the fruits of it. So never belittle anything. Maybe there's a small thing that you would do here and there, and this would be the cause of your salvation on the Day of Judgment. While the big things that you're doing, the big projects, the things that you're spending a lot of time on, wouldn't bear such an harvest. And this is something that is in the hands of Allah, so you never know. Therefore you should do whatever good you can. وَلَوْ أَن تَلْقَى أَخَاكَ بِوَجْهٍ حَسَنٍ. Even if it is as much as smiling in the face of your brother.